Hello, it's Matty F Baby back with some more Kingdom Cup action, and today we're going to be going over the Blaziken effect on the Kingdom Cup meta. So Blaziken is going to be a fire and fighting type Pokemon. It's going to be weak to ground, water, flying, and psychic moves. It resists bug 2 times, fire once, dark once, grass, steel, and ice. Its ideal moveset is going to be counter, and then if you somehow have a hot tub time machine and can go back and get that Stone Edge Blaziken or trade for one, or you somehow already have one, get that Stone Edge Blaziken, and we're going to have Focus Blast as the ideal move for those that cannot get Stone Edge. It's going to be 75 energy as opposed to 55 that the Stone Edge and a Brave Bird would do. Redacting what we said yesterday about getting Brave Bird as the lowest energy move because you wouldn't be able to get the Focus Blast off as much, but we're going to go ahead and change our idea on that because, yeah, we did a little more testing. And the last time we had tested Blaziken was probably like 5 or 6 days ago, so let's get going. Let's dive right in. Blaziken time. Alright, so it's going to be Lapras versus Lucario to start, and that is going to be an ideal matchup for our Lapras, correct? And then here comes in the Blaziken, and that is not going to be an ideal matchup for Blaziken. So if you watched yesterday's Kingdom Cup Team Building Guide video, you will remember that Blaziken was the number 3 slot, and that's because he can counter Bastiodon and Lucario, and that's something that the other counters for Bastiodon or Lucario, they can really only take out one or the other, whereas Blaziken can go into each of those matchups and be like, you know what, I got this, let's do it. So there you see, he switched to the Blaziken. Since we had won the lead battle, it gets us in a pretty good spot. We bring in our Charizard, which is going to counter his Blaziken. But yeah, we get the Blaziken down, he has to use some shields, and now we're not looking as hot as we were at the beginning of the match, right? So we're power up punching his Lapras, and now he's coming back in with the Lucario, and we have our guy Bastiodon. And right here I get lucky because he doesn't have the full move set for Lucario yet. He's still getting the candies working so he can get the second move, and since he rolled Power or Shadow Ball when he evolved it, not going to TM it, you know, play the TM game, waste 4 TMs trying to get Power Up Punch, and then, you know, he doesn't get it. So waiting to do that until he unlocks the second move. And so as you see there, we end up winning that one, but we shouldn't have. That's a loss because if he has the proper moveset with Lucario, he has used the Blaziken strategy pretty well to where he got himself in a pretty ideal scenario. So go back and watch the last video so you can see more about the Blaziken strategy too, talking about it. Anyways, so here we go. He got the Lapras on the Charizard getting us down. We bring in our Lucario. He Hydro Pumps us there. He doesn't have Surf on that Lapras. I don't think. I didn't see it at all last night, so not the ideal moveset there. So here comes the Blaziken again. And like we said, it's going to counter Lucario and Bastiodon very well. And the difference between it and other counters for Lucario or Bastiodon is if you put the Bastiodon out on the field, if your opponent has one Lucario or Bastiodon on their team of 3, they're in a 1 in 3 chance at a positive matchup or a 2 in 3 chance in a positive matchup. But let's say you have a Flygon out there, and then it's going to not be the same because it has a positive matchup against one of them and an unpositive against the other. So it just gives you a better chance overall if your opponent is going to be using Bastiodon and Lucario a decent amount of getting into those prime ideal matchups. And we actually set our team once we noticed he had started using the Blaziken. We started setting it to show what Blaziken can do and kind of how to counter it. So we yeah, so watch the battles and you'll see. So this one is one of the ones where we you know, kind of let Blaziken, you know, set it up for success. We lead with a Bastiodon. We put that lead up there just to try to throw off and hoping for not a Lucario or a Blaziken lead. So anyways, we have to switch immediately. So then he wins the switch priority, brings in the Lapras on our Charizard, which our Charizard is our anti-Lucario counter for this team of 3. And so he's now taken out our anti-Lucario, our Lucario counter, and now look, I'm left with my Bastiodon or Lucario. So I have put myself in this situation on purpose to show you what Blaziken can do. So now, no matter who I bring in, Blaziken is going to be able to wax them, right? I didn't want to get myself set in this situation for this match, you know, where I was like, oh, let me go out and lose these matches on purpose, but I wanted to set it up to show you where that theory from yesterday's video comes into play, where bringing Blaziken puts you in that it gives you the probability of just good matchups, whereas if you bring in those other counters, specific counters for one Lucario or one Bastiodon, you know, you can find yourself not in those prime situations. So there we go. He gets the win. Blaziken at the very end just comes in and hits a counter up. So we got Melmetal versus Charizard, and we're going to go ahead and block that Rock Slide. This is a kind of an even matchup. It's definitely not either or it doesn't go either way, Charizard or Melmetal, because that Rock Slide comes quick. And yeah, you're gonna get like O-code, one hit KO'd if you get hit with that. So we have to block that up, but we're also damaging the Melmetal. Right here, we do the Dragon Claw because we get kind of scared. We're thinking that he could have another Rock Slide, and then both those shields that I just used are to waste. And yeah, so we do the Dragon Claw, worried we're not gonna get the Melmetal down before, but that was definitely a mistake. Right here we Blast Burn the Blaziken. Should have Dragon Clawed, thinking that maybe he would block it, but you know, we're thinking maybe he won't, and even though he resists fire, it's still going to hurt him. So we bring in the Marowak. He does an immediate switch, and right here he's in a bad situation because Marowak is going to counter Lucario and Blaziken. So as you can see, Blaziken can be countered by Charizard. It can be countered by Alolan Marowak. It can be countered by a lot of the stuff from Group 5, like the Lapras, Altaria, Celio crew, but it does really well against the two big studs, Lucario right there, who just got Focus Blasted at the very end of a match by the Blaziken coming back in. So it does really well against the two big studs, and that's what it's here for. It's there to dispel the Lucario and Bastiodon combo. If your opponent is in love with Lucario and Bastiodon to the point where they can't not run both of them, you bring a Blaziken, it's really going to set you up for success on your team. So right here we have our Alolan Marowak that we bring in because we know, you know, he's running Blaziken, and we like Alolan Marowak. And you can see it takes the Focus Blast pretty well with no shield because we do resist it. So Alolan Marowak, a good Blaziken counter. We Shadow Ball the Flygon coming in. Don't want to Bone Club and have him shield it, or have him let it go through and it not do much damage, so we decide to Shadow Ball. He brings the Lucario back in at the end. We bring in our Alolan Marowak for a Bone Club, and yeah, he's going to block that up, and we'll get to another Bone Club again after he gets this Shadow Ball off. And, you know, if he had Power Up Punch, this would go a little differently, but the main purpose of this video is to show you all the times where Blaziken is going to do work if people are all over the Bastiodon and Lucario combination. And yeah, so now we have Skarmory going in against Lucario, and we're going to be Power Up Punching, even though he has a neutral because Steel is weak and Flying resist fighting, and still going to clap up Skarmory. Skarmory does not want to see Lucario on the battle pitch, just so everyone knows. We're going to go ahead and get another Power Up Punch off. We could have saved it for the next Pokemon coming in, but we just didn't want another Sky Attack coming our way, and we also just wanted that extra chip damage for when the next Pokemon came in. So here we go for the Shadow Ball, and can't quite get to it before he gets his Bone Club off, but we do shield so we can get to it, hoping that he doesn't block it. You never know. And so he does block it, which is definitely a good call. He's going to finish off our Lucario with that Marowak, and now we bring in our Bastiodon, who's going to do some okay damage to that Marowak, but at the same time we're going to take some damage from the Bone Clubs when they do come. But anyways, he switches into the Blaziken. We go on a Flamethrower on that. He's just over there pounding away with those counters, and right here I think he gets a little nervous that I'm going to have another Flamethrower coming out that might wipe him, or maybe even a Stone Edge, so he goes ahead and Focus Blast, and I bring my Alolan Marowak and don't think he'll be able to get us another Focus Blast, so I just go all the way through with fast attacks, and I down him and Shadow Ball the Marowak. Sorry the commentary is a little all over the place compared to what we usually do. I just really wanted to nail down and convince you of the concept of Blaziken and what makes it special. What makes it special is that it can counter both Lucario and Bastiodon, whereas other Pokemon are more specifically set to counter one or the other, not both. So when you bring in Blaziken, if your opponent likes Lucario and likes Bastiodon a lot, if they bring one of them, you have a 1 in 3 chance at a positive matchup with that Blaziken when that time comes. If they bring both of them, you have a 2 in 3 chance at a positive matchup, you know, when Blaziken's time comes. And if you bring, you know, these other Pokemon that are just counters for one or the other, you don't get that 2 in 3 chance. You have that 1 in 3 chance. So it really just increases your probability at positive matchups. And you do have to be worried, because once Blaziken gets on a roll, if you do have Lucario and Bastiodon, you could find yourself in a lot of trouble. So I hope that you enjoyed just thinking about Blaziken, looking at Blaziken, and go back and watch the battles again if you didn't get to see, because I was all over the place. I feel like I was all over the place because I just really want to nail down the concept. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and hope you can find some work for Blaziken to do for you, because I think it's going to be a really good Pokemon for this meta, and I hope that you think so too. If you enjoyed this, make sure you smash likes and subscribes and share with all your friends. If you want to support the channel, consider pushing the join button to become a channel member. I just put up 4 emojis. Do y'all want to see the emojis? I'll show you the next video. Let me know if you want to see the emojis, the Maddie FA emojis. But thank you again. Y'all be easy, breezy, beautiful, cover girls. Goodbye.